$100,000 guaranteed for being one of the top 8 teams in the world.
How bad is it?
It's not bad at all. Not bad for one game of Brawl Stars. Well, it's not one game of Brawl Stars.
A whole year of Brawl
It's been an 8-month journey to get to this point. But ultimately, let's take a look at some
much
stats.
closer damage-wise.
Nova China, they've running out on the compositions. For 3 out of 4 of their games, they played the same brawlers into this one. PSG showing a little bit more variety, but of course, their most dominant performance definitely came out when they were using the bow and the Nani combo. It's just so potent. I thought Nova China had the tools to deal with it that time around, Dan, with the Mortis, but unfortunately, they were only able to take out one of the 3 potential super totems. Kaboom Canyon, our next stop, like you said, a heist game mode. And we're wondering what they're going to roll out on this one, because we've seen a lot recently. Before we saw a bunch of Gale nerfs, a bunch of tankier brawlers being used with the spring platform to get onto the safe a lot faster and just perma-rush the safe. Not going to be quite as powerful, seeing as Gale has recently been reduced in power.
Yeah, I mean, Gale's spring doesn't go as far as it used to. It is not what it used to be. I'm excited to see what comps we'll get here. Again, you typically do tend to see the ones that do a lot of damage, the Brocks, the Spikes, the Carls, and it's going to be Brock Pam Carl for PSG. Is that a Crow?
That is a Crow in the World Finals, a brawler that we don't see a lot of. We're going to be looking to see what Mike can do against a more meta composition. This is exactly the kind of stuff we expect from Nova China, though, Dan. We talked about how they're a bit of a wild card. They play off meta. Crow is certainly that.
Crow is extremely off meta, about as off meta as you can get. But let's see what Mike can do with him. Dodging the rockets pretty well so far, staying alive, pushing forwards. Today, with the Carl gadget, is going to find himself in the center of the map, but Rely dealing so much damage, using that gadget and the healing turret to stay alive. It is going to be PSG with the first successful push on the enemy safe.
Good sweep there. They able to get a rocket rain from Coup d'Ace off on the safe, giving them a huge damage lead. And now they have control of the mid-brush, Dan. It's easy for Coup to poke around the side, get those shots in, and from afar, and safely deal damage, and get the incendiary burn as well. While this is going on, Cypher's in the backline, keeping all the brawlers busy. They're not able to tank these rockets, and the safe is just going to keep getting whittled away as this series goes on.
Yeah, Nova needs to do something, and they need to do it now. We'll see Carl's gadget come in just a moment, I imagine, once more to try and get into the center, but they need to be dealing with the damage, and today falls Mike. Super's in, but it's not going to be good enough because the other team's already at the safe and the game is over.
Once you get to that 30% threshold, Dan, there was a lot of confidence on the side of PSG to just run at the safe and end it there and then. Good use of Brock's gadget to clear out the center wall, knowing that it was in the final moments of the game and they didn't need to use that cover to hold their position. They can get rid of the terrain, create a straight line where they can just all funnel through and get onto the safe as fast as possible. The Crow pick coming out from Mike, not finding the value that Nova China needs, so maybe they need to start looking at potentially going for a mirror or finding something a little bit more conventional.
Yeah, we saw one of the points in that fight. We did see Crow just crumple, just fall apart.
He folded like a deck chair on a warm summer's day, Dan.
That's exactly what happened. PSG, though, looking really happy with themselves right now, and so they should be. They are so close to becoming your first semi-finalists here at the Brawl Stars Championship. They just need to win 2 more games and lock down this set.
And absolutely, I can believe that they're going to be walking through to the semi-final. They have absolutely documented that in their first 2 sets so far. Dan running out with the exact same composition, looking for changes. Amber now coming out onto the field, and we've also got the Dowell making a return as well. Same composition for PSG. As soon as they get this mid-brush control, expect them to start hammering away at that safe.
Now, Amber is not the force that she once was, but still extremely powerful and good at dealing a lot of damage when she gets up close. If she can get close to the enemy safe, she could be very powerful. However,
that's the thing, she's not going to get close to the enemy safe. Because the mid control is in favor of PSG, and Scythe is just holding the line. You've got the healing station to keep Coup d'Ace happy and good, and he's just taking these off angles. Watch them get it below a certain threshold. Coup d'Ace will pop the wall and they'll sprint at the safe once more. There we go. You can't fight through the healing from Pam. Rely's going to go down. Finally, an opportunity for Captain to get onto the safe. A lot of damage needs to be dealt. But remember, you're at a 50% deficit already. If you want to go on the offense, who's guarding your safe?
Yeah, I mean, Amber is very versatile. Like, she's very good at playing defensively as well, basically playing wherever she wants. However, Nova need to be pushing, and they need to be pushing together. Look at that. Amber just falls down as Brock annihilates her from a distance. Mike not going to stay alive for much longer either. Today cannot do much on his own. And again, PSG are in that position to deal all of the damage. This game might not last much longer.
Not going to, Dan. There's 20% left on the safe. There may be 1 minute left. There's opportunity. There's definitely within the realm of possibility that Nova can come back into this one, but they're so far behind at this point, and the damage is just so thick and fast from Coudier's. He's going to walk forward, make sure he's got a clear space, drop the rocket rain, and probably sprint. They're in the position now where in one push, PSG can knock down that safe and move themselves to that ultimate point of winning the quarterfinals.
Yeah, and Nova are just unable to get a push of their own. That's going to be game 2 of Heist. And now, Trid, for the first time in the global finals, we are on match point.
Match point and only 3 sets in, Dan. This has been a very dominant performance from PSG. Remember, this is just the start of their World Finals campaign. A lot of the other teams are going to be watching this, looking at what they're playing, how the performance is going. This is an opportunity to make a statement to the people in the next round of the tournament who are going to be facing you. Put a little bit of fear in them. Make them understand that, hey, we're going to have to go up against this next. This is what's up next up on the menu for us. Are we good enough to take them down? Because at the moment, being able to just bully Nova China sends that message.
It does indeed. Again, obviously, Nova China haven't had as long to practice the game as the other teams have. Bravel Star's only came out this year in China, so they're very different sets of experiences, these two teams. But yes, things are not looking good for Nova at all. The Amber pick just did not work out against Brock, who can deal so much damage at such a long range so quickly, especially with the new gadget. It's gonna be the Slambulance now for PSG. Versus Brock, Pam, and Carl. Okay, well, that's more ordinary.
Yeah, so Nova taking the mirror against PSG if they would have stayed on the exact same composition. PSG, they want to roll out with the Slambulance, and they're having a bit of difficulty with this one already. They're having to go fight up against the Pam, who's very beefy in the middle. Scythe, what can happen here with this gentleman is that he can walk away and get himself a great bubble off onto the safe. Now look at Nova. They're setting up for a base race. They're actually going to shred this. Hang on a minute.
Okay.
PSG, they're not answering. They're losing a lot of HP right now. They need to clear the members of Nova off the safe. They're getting their own damage and field.
It's not going to happen, sure. They're going to do it.
Oh my goodness. Nova China actually just ran at the safe, and PSG had no answer for it. Thinking that Mike can just leave the healing station, plant it outside the safe to maximize the amount of time they can spend on it. Look at his setup. They just send Captain in with the pirouette, Mike at point blank range with the damage coming out as well. And they wanted to go for the trade. They wanted to go for the base race. But Dan, 2 is more than 1. That damage is just outmatched.
And Kuda Ace playing as Poco specifically, not able to deal large amounts of damage, you know, up against a Pam with Mama's Hug, able to deal the damage to the safe while also healing himself and his teammates. So yeah, very strong performance from China. Nova China, who are still showing signs of life. I want to see a comeback here, Trid. I love PSG, but I want to see this get as close as possible.
Yeah, well, I think we'd all enjoy a 5-set series, Dan, but I have a feeling that now with PSG returning to something a little bit more regular for them, they're happy to blow up the cover and get in here. So this is a straight mirror composition, something that should have happened in the previous game of this set. PSG wanted to get a little bit wacky. Now it's all about that mid-control, getting the first kill and winning this early war of attrition to get in range over the enemy's safe.
Cover just not really a part of the game with Brock's new gadget involved on both sides. However, it's going to be PSG pushing forwards, hitting those shots. Mike goes down as well. That is 3 versus 1, and the damage is going to come in thick and fast.
And that first offensive down gives them a 45% HP lead against the safe. They get position at the mid, they have supers online. Scythe's willing to walk forward, keeping Mike out of the healing range for as long as possible. Finishes up with the back-to-back super onto the safe, and there is nothing Nova can do to stop it. PSG are your first semi-finalists.
An amazing performance from PSG, but commiserations to Nova China. They certainly put up a fight, but ultimately it was going to be a 3-0 series. I'm sure we'll see a lot more from Nova China next year, but just look once again at this performance, Trid. PSG had this completely under control.
Yeah, they will go through to the semi-finals tomorrow. It's just a day of quarter-finals for the time being. Nova China, you've had a fantastic year. How much shorter than everyone else's? Like, you made it to the World Finals. There's a lot to come. I'm imagining we're going to have some kind of Brawl esports team the next year. So hopefully we'll end up seeing them back and have a full year of China's participation. Let's pull up the stat screen for you, take a look at what's on the board there. Damage a lot closer than it has been in the previous sets, Dan, but when it came to kills and damage on the save, PSG have ruled absolute. Speaking of rulers, let's send it over to a queen. We got Frankie on stage.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Can I call you my footmen? Is that okay? I don't know. I can't call one of you the king and the other not. So I'm just going to call you the footmen. And what a sterling job you did at the first quarterfinals. Thank you so much, boys. Oh, my God, though. That last set left me a little bit breathless. So right now, I'm going to send things over to another man who leaves us all breathless in this community. We're so grateful that he's able to join us today. I am, of course, talking about Woody. Are you in your box?
I am flying in like El Primo, ready to drop an elbow on this World Finals, Frankie.
Well, we're so glad that you've sailed in. And I have a feeling, I think I know who you're picking as the MVP, because there was one brilliant backliner who managed to take things almost single-handedly for his team at the end of that one.
Interesting. Well, you know, I've got a bit of an interesting pick on my own. Might throw a few surprises out there, but I was keeping a close eye on that last match, and my most valuable player from that last round is none other than Scythe. I've put the win in Whirlwind as Carl in Brawl Ball with perfect positioning of his protective pirouette. That super got massive value multiple times. Aggressive demolition with gorgeous gadget use, as you see in multiple goals back-to-back in the early set there. He was fantastic also as BB in multiple different rounds. Even though he went down a time or two, taking 2-to-1 advantages is exactly what he needed to get that early lead. In Bounty, Coup to Ace was a shining star with Nani's autofocus barrage, sending Peep in deep. But Scythe held the front line as Bo and then showed incredible versatility as Mortis. His double kills made him the amazing assassin, and even with a little bit of triple thrower trepidation in Game 2, they still pulled it back for an incredible finish. Finally, his flying hook in Heist was the perfect conclusion. Even in Game 2 mirror match up against Mike playing as Carl as well, Scythe held a firm upper hand in multiple encounters.
He was absolutely fantastic. I have to say, though, Rely won my heart for the most enthusiastic player. I could watch his player cam all day. Woody, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you after the next quarterfinal. Right, well, this is a world final. And I have to say, we couldn't be here without the support of our fantastic sponsors. And our first one is coming at the perfect time because I'm feeling a little bit peckish.
Looking for a gift to blow your rivals away? Well, sweetie, this one takes the biscuit. A sugar and spice hamper, lovingly filled with delicious sweet treats. Act fast, you never know when it's gonna blow. Piper's Bakehouse, making bombastic baked goods since 2018.
I've actually arranged for a delivery of Piper's Treats to arrive at the desk shortly. Eat up, boys. Right now, let's take a look at the bracket and see where we're at after that first quarterfinal. So PSG Esports have booked a spot in the semi-finals. Nova China, sadly, we say goodbye to them, but fantastic debut for them here at the Brawl Stars World Finals. And next up, we've got a European derby because it's Code Magic versus SK Gaming. We'll take a look at the rosters to remind you of the big players on that one. Twisty Trick, of course, used to be part of SK Gaming. So I'm really excited to see how this matchup goes. I have a feeling it's going to be a very close one indeed. But don't take my word for it. Let's hear from the players.
Code Magic, they have qualified for every monthly final and they've been there every month. And they're always a really strong opponent. But when we played against them, we have managed to come out on top multiple times. So that's what we hope to do once again.
Our first opponent is SK, so I think it's gonna be very cool match because we know them, they know us. We meet them all the time in Europe,